So the house itself is in good condition. They did it, they had it well maintained. But in, let's say, they've got like a really bright colored carpet in the basement and the light fixtures are from the 90s. So, they're like, yeah, dated. We'll say it's dated.
It might come back, you never know. I see a lot of stuff come back around, so it might just be worth keeping it there. You might get big bucks from one day.
Yeah. So like what would a package for a home like that look like?
So the packages that we offer, we keep it pretty simple. I try not to overcomplicate anything with anybody that we're working with, and I'll talk about this after I answer your question. So we have the complete revive, which is more of your full scale renovation. So that's gutting the kitchen, gutting the bathrooms, all new. The revive and refresh is typically our most common package because we're coming in and it's doing exactly that. We're reviving the house, we're refreshing the house. So to your point or to your question about the home that you have upcoming for the listing, the bright floors, LVP floor goes a long way nowadays. It's great because a lot of times, I like carpet in my living areas just because I feel like it's warm, it's comfortable, it kind of gives that cozy feel again. But if I'm selling a house, I'm definitely recommending LVP or LVT throughout. And especially in that area where if it's a 90s dated basement, that's going to be more on the revive refresh, where that's just again simple updates, painting, new floor, updating the fixtures, things like that. The other package, the completely revive, is going to be more of we have a bathroom from the 1970s. We have a kitchen that has old laminate countertops, and or the tile countertops are always a favorite as well. That's going to be a little more extensive if we're looking at the value aspect and the marketability aspect. In those cases, I would say, okay, let's go ahead and do a new kitchen. One of the things that we don't recommend anytime that we're doing a complete revive is to change the footprint. We've had requests in the past where it's like, hey, we have this kitchen right now. We know it's 25 years old. We want to do this, but can we take this wall out and can we relocate the sink? We could. That's great. But again, I look at it from an expense standpoint from the seller. We can talk about more of the costs associated with our services a little bit later on, but it really doesn't make sense. You're selling the home. You know the home has value right now. What I would recommend is kind of like, and I hate to use this example, window replacements. I won't name any names, but there's a lot of companies out there that do same day window replacements. So they're just popping one out, popping a new one in. We kind of do the same thing with kitchens to where we're going to give you a new kitchen, new countertop, new everything, all the way down to the plumbing, supply lines, etc. But we're not going to change or modify the footprint too much because, again, then it gets into just time. Our purpose here is to come in and do strategic renovations in a quick manner so you can get the house listed. Now, in the rare cases that we have an agent that comes in and they say, hey, look, we have a listing that's coming up in 6 months. I secured it. This is why it's going to be in 6 months. We may pump the brakes a little bit and say, okay, let's really look at this. Let's play with this a little bit more. Maybe now that we have sufficient time, can we come in and we can relocate? We can do some moving. Maybe we demo a wall here or there. But if we are pressed for time, we typically don't recommend doing that. We would keep the same footprint, just a complete update of everything that's in there.